and welcome back to Rise and Thrive Mornings with Intention. And today I have a beautiful guest with me, Niki Margot, and she is here with me as a author in the upcoming book of The Ripple Effect of Impact. And so welcome, Niki. How are you today?
Hi, my dear. I am great. How are you doing?
Just fantastic. And so happy you're here. It's been a while since we talked. So welcome.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're so excited because we're both in this book together, and Nikki's chapter is You Were Meant for More. I love that chapter. I haven't read it yet, but I love the title already. And so, Nikki, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from.
Yes. So I am the love coach, and it's about self-love, really all kinds of love, but I believe it starts with self-love, and then everything else is just bonus. And I am originally from Long Island, New York, and then I moved to Georgia, in the USA when I was about 19, 18 and a half, 19, something like that. And been there ever since. I've been there 20 plus years and love it there. It's like my second home. I love it. And I am currently in New York a little bit more throughout the year, helping my grandmother. And yes, so I'm here and building my business, building my self-love business. And it's been great. I believe self-love is so important. And it's a personal journey that I've had over the past couple of years. And it called me to create this course, and it's just been definitely my calling and what I absolutely love to do, and I'm very good at it, so that helps as well.
Exactly. You're in the true alignment of what you want to do, basically, right? So, you are in this amazing book with us, as a co-author. So, what inspired you to write for the Ripple Effect of Impact?
Yes, it's one of those things, like the top 100 things you want to do, like kind of bucket list, is to write a book, or was to write a book, because I have written a chapter in a book. Uh, so when she asked about it, I was like, well, this sounds awesome. This is amazing, something I've always wanted to do. And it just really came so naturally when I wrote it. So it was easy, and I really had a lot of fun. And I was like, yeah.
Exactly, right? Take inspired action, as they say. So, what is the core message you hope readers take away from your contribution to the book once they read your chapter?
Yeah, so my book is about it was during COVID, and I had a back injury, and just that journey of it, going like 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. I didn't want to do surgery, so I wanted to do a more holistic approach, which meant a little bit of a longer, recovery or recouping time. And it was just one of those things where, like, I had 3 steps, forward, 2 steps back so many times. And the last time it was just like, I'm done. I'm just so done. And then I literally, with my mindset, just flipped it and said, no, like, this is not going to take me out. This is, you know, and so I want people to take away from it, from my chapter, is that you can reframe anything. Your mind is that powerful. You can, choose to look at something a certain way. You can either look at it as a lesson, or you can look at it and be a victim to it. So you have a choice of what you choose to do with whatever comes in your life.
Exactly. And I think that is very important to see because we do forget that sometimes. So it will be great reminder for some of the people that do read it, that if they're stuck in something, that we do have a choice. We always do, even if it seems sometimes like we don't. So I can't wait to read your chapter on that note. And how has writing for this book impacted you personally and professionally?
Well, professionally, it actually inspired me to write my course, my love course, in book form. So my love course is about dating yourself, falling in love with yourself by dating yourself. So it's a really super fun course that takes you through dating yourself and all the things that come with dating. So I really want to reach as many people as possible. So I think a book is a great way to do that. And like I said, I so enjoyed the chapter I wrote for this book that I thought, oh, this is great. I'm gonna, do my book, do my course in book form.
Wow, that is amazing. And it is very important to love yourself. I know I went through some moments in my life where I didn't, and it can definitely take a toll on itself too. So it is very important to love yourself first, because if you don't, how can you expect to give it to others? So that's I actually,
Yeah.
we got to talk. Let's see. I'm interested in your course because, there's always room to grow no matter what you do, right? So tell me, did you have any challenges you faced while writing this piece? And if you did, how did you overcome them?
The challenge was to write it in the amount of the to not make it as long, to make it the short. That was my only challenge. When I did it, I did a little bit more, and I found that there were areas that I could have wrote a little bit more about. Um, so the challenge was to write it in the within the required number of words. But generally, no, it came very easily. So it was really fun, and I had a lot of fun, and I realized like it just flowed. It was just great.
Yeah, and that's really important too. I remember when I first did my book for Midlife Awakening, um, I wasn't quite sure where to start, but I just started writing. And then when I realized, I'm like, I sat down once, twice, and I'm like, wow, it's just coming out naturally because you're aligned to it, right? And I thought it was gonna be hard, and the whole process, but it was so easy. Action Takers Publishing made it quite easy because I poured out my heart, they edited, and they put it out there. So just the process to making the chapter and being part of such a beautiful piece like collaboration book is not as hard as some people think it might be, especially myself. I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? But it was so easy, because you're also aligned. So your heart and soul wants to get it out there and help people in the process. So can you share a story with us from your experiences that has had a significant impact on someone's life?
Oh, good question. Um, it actually really does for this for this book talking about ripple effect. You don't know who you're going to have an impact with. So I remember I was helping out on another course, like in-person course, for a company called Landmark Worldwide, and on one of their courses, and I was helping out. And part of when you help out or assist, the production of the course. So we have meetings in the before the course starts, so we can all kind of get off our chest anything that we want to kind of clear or get rid of out of our space, and then we talk about what we're up to and what we want to accomplish or break through or transform during the course, because part of when you help someone, and this was part of it, is for you to bring your life to it and for it to impact you when you're helping someone else, that it to impact you. And all their courses are very transformational, really self-development work. So you're in that space already. So I shared at that time I was dating, and so I was dating and I was creating that I was going to have a date over this weekend because I was helping out the leader. So I had a lot of downtime because when the leader was leading the course, I didn't really there was nothing that I needed to do. So I had a lot of downtime, and I did get approval before. So I was like, well, when I have downtime, my date could come here and we could sit and we could talk, and we could have a coffee and or tea or whatever, or play a game or something. So I was like, I want to create this, and I want to create it being fun, dating being fun. This was before I even created my course. This was a couple of years ago. Anyway, so I shared about that and how I was creating fun, and just wanted to be 100% me, because when we go on dates and we want to have the perfect outfit or the perfect hair, and believe me, I did not have the perfect outfit, I did not have the perfect hair. I had been working like 3 days straight, like 14-hour days. So like I was not all like dolled up. So I'm like, fuck it. Excuse the French, but I'm like, I want someone to love me and to know me for me. I don't have to be all perfect. So I created Going on the Stage. So I shared that. Well, I'm at the place where they hold these things. They have like a, like a business center or a business, location. So I don't know, 2, 3 weeks after that, some person came up to me, a woman, and she says, "Oh my gosh," she's like, "I have to share with you." I'm like, "Please." I didn't know who she was. Okay. She's like, "I was also assisting and I was helping out on the course where you shared about dating and being fun and being yourself and getting back out there." And I'm a plus size girl if you can't see. So, I'm 22, size 22, 24. So they think like Lizzo-ish. So it also takes something when you're not a perfect size to get out there for some. So she said, "You so inspired me to get back out there and to be myself and to get back dating," that she found someone and she was like head over heels. Like she found someone like 2 days later and they were already like moving in together. Like she's like, "It's a
Wow.
whirlwind." And then I met her like a couple years later. They were still together. So because I shared what I was up to, it inspired her to get out there. And then she met like the love of her life, or
Wow.
that's how she put it.
That is so
So,
awesome.
and she came up to thank me. She's like, "Thank you for sharing because you just inspired me to do this." So we don't know, right? Like who we impact. And I wasn't directly talking to her or talking with her at all, but we just
Yeah.
never know who we get to impact because
Wow. Look
we
at you
don't.
making the magic happen.
I was
Love
so
it.
excited.
Love
I
it.
was so surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, but you being you, you're being authentic, and that other person picked up and she went out there and followed her heart. So sometimes that all it takes, right? Inspiration, inspired action, and voila.
Yep.
That is so amazing. Wow, I love that story. So what advice would you give to someone who wants to write maybe and create a meaningful impact?
I think what you said too is if it comes from your heart and it's something that you really truly care about, whether it be, you know, because you love shoes or you love, how to cut hair or you just, whatever the thing is that you love, because there are other people that I'm sure love that too. And, just be be open and just like you said, start writing. Just start writing, start journaling, you know. A little thing that I do when I write is I go on YouTube and I search like the frequency of music. So if I'm really creating around self-love, I'll search self-love frequency music. Um, and I'll find some and I'll just play it. Normally it doesn't even have any words. And sometimes if I want to be creative or if I want to talk about higher self, but I'll search that and it has a certain frequency. And I just kind of have that going. I do that when I journal too. I personally love it. I'm one that I love music. So I like to get connected to that. And I think, ooh, if anything, everything is energy, as we say. So if I can listen to and get on this frequency of what I'm creating, and then it'll just kind of help the universe and the angels kind of
It
lead my
amplifies it
brain
more.
to yeah,
Yeah,
lead my
exactly.
brain
Yeah.
to where it's going.
And it changes
Yeah.
the energy, and it's so funny we talk about that because last night, it's been a while since I listened to a specific music, and it was also frequency. I don't remember which one. And I listened to it again, and it just reminded me to get back into that state where I'm trying to manifest a specific thing. And trying is not so much a word, but get into a feeling of it more. It does help. And then all of a sudden you find yourself, things come a little bit easier because you let go of that the thoughts, the mindset that's trying to override, and then you let the spirit and then the heart and then the soul in. So it kind of like lets it glow differently, and it comes easier. And I was amazed as I was listening to that music, because all of a sudden I could see the expansion, like, where sometimes we're so, boxed up, and you only see the 3D and this is what's going on. And then I sat there listening to this music and I could just feel the expansion of the universe around you. And it's such a beautiful, amazing feeling. sometimes you just don't want it to end, and then you're like, well, yeah, but I have to go to bed, but no, and then your mind's like, come on, I'm tired, but I'm not. You start having this, mind games, because you're such in the moment that you don't want it to end, but your physical body's like, but can I just sleep? And you're like, okay. But it makes you feel good, uplifted, and yeah, sometimes I write poetry because, yeah, I never really shared that before, but I do sometimes write poetry. I've never published anything, but I do write poetry too, and usually it comes when I'm actually listening to some kind of music, so that's awesome you're sharing that. It reminded me of my moment last night, and of course before. So, do you have any daily practices or routines that help you stay focused and motivated?
Mm. I Part of the course was to take yourself on dates, and I do take yourself on a date with yourself. And I do that regularly. And sometimes it's just the silly things. Like I want to, like one time I went to Home Depot and I just sat in the lawn chair area and just sat and just be like, I had to go for something else. And, I'm like, okay, so I'm going to just sit here though for a few minutes and listen to some music and just people watch and just chill, just relax and just take 15 minutes to just think about whatever, or it's just take time for you, just take time to stop and smell the roses, how kind of corny that might be, but the truth is just to be present and just to stop the day by day, go 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 go. And it's good for your brain, it's good for your heart, it's good for your soul, just to kind of connect with yourself. And even if that means taking 10 or 15 minutes and going into another room, even for moms or whomever, right? Or take a walk around your building if you're at work, or something where you can just literally detach from the world. And if listening to music is your thing, or no music, and just looking outside, but just taking that time just to be present and in the moment of whatever you know you
Exactly.
want to do. I think that's so important. I mean, there's so many things that I do too, like journaling. Like I said, I do love listening to that frequency music. But you have to find what works for you, because you need to find what you what helps you put you in that good frequency state, right? It's not going to be the same for everybody.
Yeah. And it's good to try out sometimes new things and see,
Absolutely.
because you never know, like you might just like that new thing and it sticks with you, right? Um there's definitely different ways. I sometimes it's like I have a moment, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go right now, go get myself a nice latte, one I like, and that's me being with me and enjoying that moment. And yeah, it's just coffee, but like that's just an example, right? And I'll
But
just
that's
sit
the thing,
there.
it's not just coffee. Like, right? It's not just coffee. It's
Yeah,
literally you taking the time to be like, I want to do this.
yeah,
I'm going to do this for myself. Like,
yeah.
it's
That's what I
really
mean.
so much bigger than,
Yeah.
right, just coffee.
Yeah, because you can go for pedicure, you can go for, have a full hair makeover, whatever suits you, like, but you do what needs to be done. Like, there's days I go for pedicure, but there's days I just want coffee, and that makes me feel sometimes on top of the world, believe it or not, right? Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, and there's days you're gonna go and spend like $1,000. It all depends on you and what you want to do. So bask in it, enjoy it. So we know that you're in the upcoming book, The Ripple Effect of Impact. You also got inspired and wrote your own program. Is there anything else coming up that you'd like to share with your audience so they can follow you and wait for anything exciting coming your way, our way?
Yes, I am actually also going to be launching a podcast. It's called The
Mm.
Shift Within. And I'm also on all the socials, the TikTok and the Instagram, and haven't posted a lot in those areas, but I'm working up to it for sure, especially because I'm actually launching the courses in September. So I'm also doing a boot camp, a self-love boot camp. So I've got a lot of great stuff coming out, and I always do free master classes. And like I said, you can always watch my things, and I'm always I'm very accessible. So if you ever have a question, there's all different ways you can contact me. So I know you probably have that link to my link tree, which has all of the ways you can contact me. But I'm
Yes.
out there. Yeah. So lots of great stuff happening because I really want people, I really believe that self-love is like that's the thing. And I think that if people get that, they really can shift everything. They can shift their relationships, not just, romantic ones, the relationships you have with your kids, the relationship you have with your parents, the relationship you have with your friends, and the relationship you have with yourself, I think is the most important. And when that shifts and you can truly step into who you are and what you love you know, and just kind of say, don't give a crap about what anyone else thinks and
Yeah.
don't give a crap about what anyone else has a comment about or like do as long as it's legal, and it's not harming anyone else,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
But
And professionally too, it can definitely help with your coworkers as
absolutely.
well. It can go either way, like whether it's personal or professional. So there's great potential in both areas. And of course, we're gonna post all the links to get in touch with Nikki and her social media. And of course, reach out to her and follow her on her links to stay in the knowing of what's coming up next. So because I'm sure she's gonna have lots of amazing things coming, and they're already here, some of them too. So how do you personally define success, and has that definition evolved over time for you?
Oh, I think I thought when I was younger, to be honest, I think I thought success was going to be having a family. And for some people it is, having a family and having that. I don't think when I was, you know, little or growing up, teenager, even into college, I don't think I really thought about what I wanted, like what kind of impact I wanted to make in the world. I've always been a very kind person, always, looking out for other people, shirt off your back, give money to the homeless, food to the like I'm always out there helping my community, but I never really thought about what I really wanted. Like how can I make an impact in this world and keep making an impact and like a ripple effect.
Hmm.
So I would say now my version of success is it is, I mean, it doesn't, it might sound selfish, but it really is for yourself to be happy first, for you to be happy and be happy with what is right now. Money comes and goes, you know, and if you really are happy and really can love yourself, I think that's success. And and you can choose to, again, if you can choose to look at anything as a positive and you can take that, I think that's a successful life because then nothing can fuck with you. Nothing can get you down. You're always just happy for what is right now and so present in the moment. And I think that is a successful life. And yeah, that I would say that is for me, and I obviously would like to make as big as impact as possible. And I try to do that every day. And that's part of me creating my course is I really do want to make a bigger one. And so that's my whole reason for creating my course and doing all these things is to share and to have more people experience self-love.
Hmm. And definitely, and so many people out there do need it. I know I needed it at one point, so I definitely see the value in it. Um, because if you don't value yourself, love yourself, like it does reflect back. We're the mirror reflection of what's happening out there. So, it is very, very important. Because how can you give out what you don't have, right? And like a lot of past experiences prove it over and over again to love yourself first and the rest will almost take care of itself. Of course we have to do inspired action and other things, but it all starts to flow as soon as you recognize yourself and and have that love within. So our podcast is called Rise and Thrive Mornings with Intention. What does this title evoke for you? And how do you see the importance of starting the day with intention?
Oh, yes. Well, it's a great, great title. Love
Thank
it.
you.
Um, it just inspires you just by saying the title, right? Rise with intention. Be like, ooh, not just roll out of bed, wash your face, but,
Yeah.
create an intention. I have done it both ways, off and on, since I kind of got into the space of self-development and intentions and setting intentions for the day. And I can definitely say that my day is way more joyful and powerful and happy when I set an intention. And it doesn't mean the day doesn't go to shit sometimes, because it does, you know?
Sometimes it happens.
Exactly, it happens. So but the whole point of setting an intention is to be like, no matter what happens, this is my intention. And then, okay, my intention didn't happen today. I wanted to get this A, B, C and done, or I wanted to be in the space of ease and flow, or the space of joy, but I yelled at my kid, or I yelled at my mom, and okay, but then you get to reset it every day, and you get to be like, okay, well, I learned how not to be in those things today. And
Yeah.
what can I do, tomorrow, or what if I could redo it, if I could, redo that scenario, what would I have done differently? Or what can I do now to make that better? You can always call, the parent or whoever you had that conversation with, be like, hey, I behaved this way, I'm sorry, or thank you for being my friend, even though
Yeah.
I acted this way, or what have you. But
Yeah.
it's so important to it makes it just it just makes things flow better. Just and because if you remember what intention you're setting to, if there's a way that you can remind yourself of that, that's what your intention is, then I also find that the universe, God, whatever you prefer to call it knows what to give you. So if you're looking at happiness or creating, intention of having fun, it's going to bring you fun. It's going to bring you that, or it's going to hopefully bring you a scenario where maybe you could have fun, so it will bring you that. And hopefully you can also see things through that lens. So, if something bad does happen, or something that you don't want to necessarily happen, well, how can you look at it in the space of having fun or having joy, or how can I give back to this person, or whatever it be, whatever your intention, is. So gives you an opportunity to dance in life, dance in the journey of it all.
Yeah. And that is so true. And I love that. Well put, Nikki. So I can't wait to read your chapter. I haven't yet, but I will soon. And looking forward to the launch date, August 20th. So if you guys like a
Yes.
copy, it will be definitely available on Kindle and Amazon soon. So stay tuned, follow us on YouTube and whatever social media you prefer, and we'll share all the links to get in touch with Nikki. And also, if you have any questions for myself and Nikki, we're there for you to answer them. So thank you so much for listening to us today. I hope you enjoyed our podcast. Subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming events and other fun stuff. So I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Thank you so much, Nikki, for being here. It's been a pleasure to have you and so nice to see you again. So thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. I had such a fun time chatting with
Yay.
you. Yay.
Thank you so much. So you guys have a wonderful day and take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.